to Pedagogy of a Portrait. My name is Dina Wright, and I am the Content Area Specialist for Technology Integration for Lyon County School District. And I am joined by my colleague.
Hi, I'm Carrie Bunyard, and I'm the Academic Coordinator for the district.
And today we have a very special guest with us who's going to talk about Lyon County School District student enrollment and registration.
Hello, my name is Tey'ana Peterson. I am the school secretary here at Fernley Elementary School.
Thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Before we get started, I just want to share that Lyon County School District is a unique and special district. We serve students from Fernley, Yarrington, Dayton, Silver Springs, and Smith Valley, and students from 18 schools altogether. We have close to 9,000 students, and we are the fourth largest district in Nevada. The purpose of this podcast is to create a place for all to witness lifelong learning, to share all the great things happening here with Portrait of a Learner, and to hopefully inspire, promote critical thinking, reflection, and to share ideas to help one another grow. So with that being said, we are actually going to get started with Tey'ana Peterson, who again is Fernley Elementary School's school secretary.
Registrar.
Okay. So why don't you start and tell us a little bit about yourself and why you enjoy being a school secretary?
A little bit about myself is I have actually gone to Fernley Elementary School. I have graduated from Fernley High School, so I am a real product of Lyon County School District. My kiddos go to school here, so that's pretty exciting too. What I love about being a secretary is being front and center and helping all the parents and students as needed.
I was going to say, you're the first person that probably everybody sees in the morning, whether it's the teacher or the janitor or the principal, the families, the students. You're the first.
Yes, and I absolutely love that. I love being their first good morning in the morning.
Yeah, you get to set the tone for their day.
I do it. It makes my day every day.
So I once heard this saying, I'm a school secretary, not a magician, but I can see why you might be confused.
Yeah, I am a fix-it. I can fix it. They ask me for questions, and I love being helpful to everybody.
You truly work magic day in and day out.
I do have to say, anytime I come to Fernley Elementary School, it is a very welcoming environment, and so I appreciate that. So thank you, Tey'ana, for always.
Thank you.
You have a smile on your face, and we always, chit-chat for a few minutes, and so I appreciate that.
Yes, I love that, and I appreciate you guys and anybody that walks in if they feel that way. It's fantastic, and it's not just here; it's around the hallways too. So you'll run into our principal, our VP, and everybody's got that smile on their face to give you a warm welcome here at Fernley Elementary.
I know. I love the atmosphere. I love the atmosphere here. All right, so you are here today to give us some information about enrollment and registration.
So I can go through a little bit about what's required for enrollments, what I prefer here at my school. I think a few of the other secretaries might prefer the same, so we can kind of just go through a list of what's needed, and then you can ask me any other questions and give people a general idea.
Great.
Okay, so let's get it started. So enrollments at Lyon County School District have some requirements. First, I would suggest going to your zone school. If you happen to be in Fernley or Dayton, we have 3 different elementary schools, so you would need to go to your zone school in order to enroll. That would be based on your address, and you can always call your school secretary to find out where that zone is. Any other elementary schools around the different areas, Smith Valley only has one, Yarrington only has one, Silver Springs only has one, so that's a little easy. I prefer having parents come in. I love to meet the families and verify your home address. I will have them sign a request of records if needed and get the copies of the required documents to start that online process. So a little bit about that is we do want to verify that address and make sure you are in the correct zone school. If you're not and prefer to go somewhere else, there is something called a variance that you could get as well. So you can check into that if you prefer to not go to your zone school. Required documents for enrollment would be the state-issued birth certificate, SHOT records, and a current proof of residence, which can be a utility bill or rental or lease agreement. So you got to make sure you have those documents in order to get the process started. Middle and high schools are a little different. They do require a few more shots. So just check with your secretaries if they have those vaccinations. Make sure that they're covered to start school on that first day.
I have a question about the zones. You said that they could call the school to get their zone, so they would just provide their address, or is there also like a map online, or what's the best way for parents to find
I would
their
say
zone?
best to call the school, so you can call any of the elementary schools if you're in their zone or not. So if you feel like calling Fernley Elementary, please do. We do have a list of addresses, and you would give us your address, and based on your address is what zone school you would be in. So, yes, best way would probably be to contact. One other thing, I did talk to Mrs. Bird at Fernley High School, and if you do end up going to a high school, they do prefer for registration that you bring your child's high school transcripts and their school schedule from their prior school so that they can get them in the correct classes. So just a quick message from Mrs. Bird on the requirements for high school.
And that's just for transfer students who...
That's for transfers outside of the district, yes. Another thing for kindergarten, we want to make sure that your student is 5 by August 1st. That is the cutoff. There will be pre-Ks, and that is an application process gone over in another podcast, but the cutoff for that also is 4 by August 1st. So those birth dates do make a difference on whether or not you can enroll your student. Once we get rolling, there's a few different things. If you have been, as a parent, a student in the Lyon County School Districts, you most likely, if you went to school from 2001 to present, you are in the system as a person. So you will need to make sure that you can provide your maiden name too, so that they can find the identity of you prior to enrolling your new kiddo. So that is a little tidbit of information.
And why is that so important?
Because it pulls any information that has already been listed. So it could already have your phone number, address, demographic information. Yes. So then those changes can be made once you log in as well, and just combine that information so it's not heavy on that data side of things. If you are new to the district, you would just go to the Lyon County School District main page, which is lyoncsd.org. And enroll your student. You can upload the documents. Some prefer to make copies. You can always come to the office and make copies too. If you have a student currently in Lyon County School District, you will log on to your parent portal of Infinite Campus and enroll your student on that end. So, for example, if you have a 4th grader and you've got someone coming into kindergarten, you would log on to your Infinite Campus, and your which would have been a non-school student at that time, will be in the system, but we'll add them as a student.
Kindergartner?
It would be a new kindergartner, yes. So if you need your Infinite Campus information, that comes to you at the beginning of the year via email. You click on a link and start your account. It is a personal GUID number that you get from your school, so you can always call and get that it's like a 25-digit number. You could get that from your school too to log on. But you want to make sure that you are on Infinite Campus in the parent portal, especially at the higher grade levels. You can verify your kids' grades. You can check attendance. You can put in absence requests. It's very informative for the higher levels, and then kind of just a data information and update on the lower levels.
A great communication tool.
Yes.
Parents.
Yep. You can communicate with the teacher as well.
You said GUID.
GUID, yeah. So
GUID.
yeah, so it's just a number that specifies to that particular person.
So once they enroll with you or any of the secretaries, do they automatically get access to their parent portal? Because I know in the past I've heard some confusion about parents and getting their passwords. Do they go? Can you tell us a bit more about that? Do
Yeah.
they go to you?
That's a great question.
They would ask the teachers that in the past. And
yes, and they have no idea. Yeah, so that is a great question. Yes, once you get your child rolling and you get your application number and you go through the process and submit your application, it doesn't necessarily start your parent portal. I think it does once you, let's say during summer when you enroll and then that verification comes out at the beginning of the year, you'll have to click again just to update your information, and then it'll allow you to start your own password. So it doesn't in enrollment, but it will once you log on.
Okay.
Yeah, so it is kind of a process.
Okay.
But
thanks for clarifying.
yes.
And they can always come to you for
You
help.
can
questions.
always come. Yep, absolutely. Go to your school secretary, and if they're not available, you can call Fernley Elementary and I'll help you. Yeah, 775-575-3420. A few other things. Let's see. Be specific on when you're adding emergency contacts. We all have our friends. Let's say her name is Katrina, but we call her Kat. If you are entering her as Kat, it's not going to find her if she's a person for someone else or a parent of the district. So make sure you're specific in their full name, and birth dates are always good to compare. People do change phone numbers, so like first name, middle name, last names are always good to get that specific person in the information.
And keeping that information updated if you move or
yes,
different circumstances
is super
arise.
important.
Yes.
Yep. You can go on your parent portal and change your phone number, update your phone number, address, and all that. When you do change an address, though, you do need to, I would call your office, especially if you are in a zoned area, because you may no longer be zoned for that particular school. So you just want to make sure that you're communicating with the office if there's any changes.
Are there specific deadlines or timelines that anyone should be aware of?
Not in particular. We're taking enrollments from now till the end of the school year. So June 14th we're done. So we're taking enrollments right up into that date. Summertime we do take enrollments. I am gone for summer, so I don't arrive back until mid-August. So that's when I'll jump back into getting those enrollments finished. There is someone available to take copies at the office if you need to bring in the birth certificate, shot record, and proof of residence. I would just suggest like a complete deadline to get your kid enrolled for the first day of school would be like noon that Friday before school starts on September 3rd. So just make sure you get it in by the end of August so that we can get the child enrolled and in a classroom and ready to go for the first day, because it's a little chaotic that day.
I was just going to say how smooth that rolls right out of your mouth. Proof of, what is it?
Yeah, birth certificate, shot records, proof of residence. I think I've said it so much that it's now second nature just to talk about it. Yeah. The process is super easy for online enrollment. So once you do get those documents turned in, I get my signatures needed, we verify address. The online process is super easy. So you'll just call me back with the application number. I'll mark down the application number, go in, submit and approve, post the information as needed, mark it complete, and then your kiddo's ready to roll. So it is a super efficient process doing it online. So I'm super happy Lyon County went to online registration. It's great. But we do prefer, I know Carmela over at East Valley, myself, we do prefer to meet parents and meet the kiddos. So come see us. We would love to see you, get those signatures, make those copies for you, say a little hello. And then also with kindergarten, we do have a little like back sheet to our welcome letter that states what might be needed or what you can work on over summer with your upcoming student, your kindergarten student.
You already talked about this. And you mentioned that students who are already enrolled in Lyon County School District.
Yeah, so if your student is already registered in Lyon County School District, each year, starting about now when we open enrollments, you need to update and register your student for the following year. So right now, currently, I have a sophomore and a senior. Obviously, my senior's leaving, so he's no longer needed to re-register. Sad.
Don't cry.
I won't cry. But for my sophomore, I've already gone online, updated all my information, and now he's ready to roll for his junior year. So you can change emergency contacts, you can change your address at that time, anything that's specific that you need. Otherwise, you just kind of verify all the information, click submit, easy peasy, it's done.
Will parents ever get notified that this is something that they need to do?
Yes. So hopefully something will go out at the end of the school year. Sam Felix, who works in IC, is fantastic. He sends out like a mass email that has a link that you'll click to register. I don't know if he'll do it at the end of the year, but definitely at the beginning of the year. And then that allows you to digitally sign all those documents that are needed for the following school year. So instead of getting that big packet that we know everybody loves at the beginning of the year, we've really cut down on paper because you can digitally sign those documents.
Nobody necessarily has to come into.
No, you will not need to. Yep. So for the re-registration / update, you don't even need to go into an office at all. You would just go online, and if you have any questions, call your school secretaries, and they can help you through the process. But it is very easy just to verify all your information, make changes, hit submit. Your kid's ready to roll for the next grade level.
And those are all those forms that used to go out like the first week of school.
Yes, first day of school letters. Yep. There still are a few of those.
There's still a few?
Mm-hmm, there's still a few. So you only get maybe 3 or 4, as opposed to like, I think that was a good 11 pages that we would have to staple together at the beginning of the year. So
Quite a few.
yeah, it's
One
makes it
was
super
yellow,
nice.
one was green, one
Yep,
was
one
pink,
all
one was
color coded.
white, right?
I did love my color coded, but I've learned to just do
Let it go.
let it go.
Awesome. So what are the next steps after completing the registration process?
Once you are done, it'll send you a verification that you did complete the process. So that's great. It'll let you know that you've completed it. If there are any errors or questions or something pops up, your school secretary would give you a call and ask you if you needed to change anything or just verify information. But otherwise, it's a crystal clear process. If you get it's complete, you're good to go. Now, the first day of school, typically the rosters are posted. If at that time you see that your kiddo's name's not on the list, then something might not have gone through to complete the registration process.
So do you have to go through and click a button for every student?
I do.
Enrolled?
So,
How
yep.
many students do you have here at Fernley Elementary School?
Currently at Fernley Elementary, we have 440 students. So yeah, any new kids. So kindergarten's a big one for any elementary school. We're enrolling at least 80. That's just my school. My school's tiny. So Cottonwood and East Valley have some big numbers. Fernley High School. So one thing to think about too is we're getting brand new kids. So we're starting some things fresh for 80 kids, as opposed to, let's say, FIS maybe gets 20 kids for the school year. So your elementary school secretaries, props to them, all my elementary secretary peeps, you guys are amazing. Yeah, we have to hand click and verify and go through all the information on all new enrollments, and then kindergarten included could be 80 to 100 kids themselves. It's easier now that it's online enrollments, but when we had to hand enter everything, yeah, we were quite busy. Still are, but not as.
Yeah. So now let's say, for example, parents come and enroll on Friday before school starts, and you guys post, I know some schools post the class list for the first day of school, and their students not on that list. What should they do? Should they come in and talk to you, or?
Yes.
What would be your best suggestion?
We typically post, well, it depends on when we have back to school night. So that's still up in the air. So let's say back to school night is that week before. Actually, Friday might even be too late to enroll because we want to make sure to get them on a roster. So I would suggest by Wednesday, the week before school starts. That way we can get them on a roster. Okay, so the first day of school is September 3rd. That is a Tuesday after a holiday. So make sure that if you are going to enroll your students, that you are getting with us that week before, probably the Wednesday before school starts on that Tuesday. That way we can get your kiddos enrolled.
Thank you so much for joining us. This is incredibly informative, and I'm sure it will be very helpful in the enrollment and registration process. And again, Miss Tey'ana at Fernley Elementary, she is happy to answer any questions that you may have, so feel free to contact her. We will link the Lyon County School District page in the comments and reach out with any of your questions and celebrations that you might want us to touch base on or hit in one of our next podcasts. Thank you again for listening, and Tey'ana, you have been amazing. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Tey'ana.
Have a great rest of your week and stay strong.